He can and He will make a way out of no way. I'll stop by to tell you that God, He's able to deliver you. You see, this man by the name of Jairus, he realized that I just need to get to Jesus. And so Jairus, he finally got a hold to Jesus. And he said, I need you to touch my daughter. So the story goes on to say that Jesus said, why don't you lead me to your daughter's house? So at the time, Jesus, he finally gets to Jairus' house. And don't you know that Jairus' daughter, she's dead now. But she's not dead in Jesus' eyes. Jesus said she's just asleep. And Jairus, all you got to do is just believe. So I'm here to tell you today, no matter what you're going through, all you got to do is look up into heaven and just believe. You see, storm clouds may blow and winds may blow, but I don't know about you, but I decided for God I will live, and for God I will die. Is there anybody in the house today that can testify that God is able to deliver you? Good God Almighty. So Jesus, he got to this little girl, and he said, Peter, James, and John, I want you to come in this room with me. Everybody else, I want y'all to stay back there. So Jesus went into this little room. He went into the room with Peter, James, and John. He said that Jairus, your daughter, she's not dead, but she's just taking a little nap right now. Good God Almighty. So Jesus, he did what he do. He looked up into heaven and he said, Talitha Kumai, was being translated, little girl, I say to you, arise. This little girl, she's 12 years of age. When Jesus said, get up, this little girl, she just got up and started walking. You understand to cherish you. All you got to do is believe. No matter what the situation is, I'm here to tell you, just believe. As I get ready to go to my seat, there's a story of a 5th grade teacher in a Christian school. She asked her class to look at the TV commercials and see if they could use them in some way to communicate ideas about God. Here are some of their results. This class said, God, He's like Bayer aspirin. He works miracles. And they say, God, He's like a Ford. He's got a better idea. And they say, God, He's like Coke. He's the real thing. And they say, God, He's like Hallmark cards. He cares enough to send His very best. They say, God, He's like Tide. He gets the things out that others leave behind. They say, God is like General Electric. He brings good things to life. They say, God is like Sears. He has everything. They say, God is like Alka-Seltzer. If you try him, you like him. They say, God is like Scotch tape. You can't see him, but you know He's there. They say, God, He's like the Delta. He's ready when you are. They say, God, He's like VO5 hairspray. He holds through all kinds of weather. They say, God, He's like Dial soap. Aren't you glad to have Him? They say, God is like the post office. Neither rain, snow, sleet, or ice will keep Him from His appointed destinations. I've just stopped by to tell you, no matter what you're going through, God, He'll be there right on time. Good God Almighty. Is there anybody in the house today that can testify that God is able? He's able to do anything but fail. Good God Almighty. Who is this God? Somebody said they nailed Him to the cross. He has some nails in His hands. They nailed Him in the feet. They pressed Him in the side. Good God Almighty. They buried Him in Joseph's borrowed tomb. But you want to know one thing? When He went down to hell, He snatched those keys from that old dirty devil. But early, I said early. Somebody say early. Early. One Sunday morning, He up for you and for me. He got up so that we can have the right to the tree of life. He got up to save my soul. If you know he got up, let me hear you say, yeah.